Tonight on Nightline, drowning in debt. Your dream home becomes a nightmare when you owe more on your mortgage than the house is worth. It's happening to millions of Americans. So how can you avoid sinking underwater? Plus, Musical Man. From Dirty Dancing to Xanadu, he's the man whose dances sought to reinvent the modern musical. And then he struck gold. We sit down with Kenny Ortega, the director who turned High School Musical into an international phenomenon. And crunch time. Election day is bearing down, and Barack Obama and John McCain are pulling out all the stops to win over undecided voters. And some say the tactics are getting dirtier and dirtier. We're live with the latest from the campaign trail.
From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran, Martin Bashir, and Cynthia McFadden in New York City, this is Nightline, October 17th, 2008.
Good evening. It's been another difficult day on Wall Street, with the Dow Jones closing some 170 points down. And if economists agree on anything, it is that this current crisis can be traced back to the housing market, a market that's still in dire difficulties. Figures released today show that new home construction has slumped to its lowest level since 1991. And while new building has slowed down, foreclosures are going up. It is a perfect storm that's left many Americans facing a fearful future, as Vicky Mabry now reports for the latest installment of our series, Realty Check.
During the boom times, new subdivisions were springing up like wildflowers among the cactus in the suburbs of Phoenix. It was out here that Melanie Bruce found her dream home.
I've been in here for almost 2 years. The thing that struck me the most was just the big open floor plan.
It was everything she ever wanted.
It was just nice to have this much space. This is Miss Grace's room.
But in 3 weeks, Melanie, her daughter Grace, and husband Byron will have to leave.
Do you like your room? Yeah. Oh, there's her new hat.
Melanie is underwater on her mortgage.
There's an unprecedented number of homeowners who are underwater, meaning that the amount they owe on the home is greater than the value of the home.
Nearly 1 in 6 homes, roughly 12 million households, is underwater, or upside down as it's called. And it's a growing problem.
This problem is going to get measurably worse. House prices are still falling in many parts of the country. So if you look out a year from now, as many as 15 million homeowners will be underwater.
Melanie has been forced to sell.
You realize that, yeah, it was great. I loved it. But there'll be other homes. And so you have to let go.
2 years ago, when she bought her piece of the American dream, the market was booming. Booming so much that even Melanie could get a 100% mortgage on a $325,000 home.
I didn't have a job. This is the crazy thing. I didn't have a job. I was getting ready to go back to school. My husband actually wasn't even on the loan, so I was buying the house by myself.
Though her husband wasn't on the loan, he was working, and Melanie had a year's worth of mortgage payments in the bank. She got an 80-20 loan, 80% at 8 1/4, the rest at 13%.
My mortgage guy, I told him point blank, I said, you know, I've never bought a house on my own. It seemed a little too good to be true to be able to buy a house, not have any money out of pocket, and to be able to refinance in a year.
For a year, she managed to stay afloat. Then she started sinking.
That's when you sort of realize that, okay, I'm having a problem here. I was actually a full-time student. My husband was between jobs. And at that point in time, I started calling the mortgage company saying, this is the situation I'm in. Is there anything we can do?
She needed to refinance fast, but her home's value was falling to $300,000, then even less. So getting nowhere with refinancing, she decided to sell.
When she called me, I came and met with her, and, you know, from my standpoint, I'm a young mom, she's a young mom. I'm just trying to make it right for her.
Willow Peacock, the agent who sold Melanie the house, laid out 2 options, foreclosure or a short sale, if the bank would allow it, meaning sell the house for less than the mortgage owed on it.
A short sale is much easier or better on your credit than a foreclosure. This is what we're faced with, and this is what we got to do, and I think it's a win-win for everybody.
I ended up choosing a short sale merely because it seemed like the more responsible thing to do. I mean, I understood that I got in over my head, and to just walk away made me even more sick than actually getting in over my head. The bank was not willing at all to even really speak to my realtor. We've lost at least one buyer to the bank. That's when the National Short Sale Company was invited to the party.
Business is going extremely well. There's a lot of homeowners out there who are in need of a short sale, and, fortunately, we're in a position to help them out.
4 years ago, Travis Olson saw the writing on the wall. He and some partners opened the National Short Sale Center. Their prescience is paying off.
It's a win-win solution for everybody. And for the bank, they lose far less money for a short sale than they would if they ended up owning the property.
Even so, the process is far from painless.
It is with great embarrassment and regret that I write this letter.
Melanie had to write a letter of hardship. Ironically, she had to bear more of her soul to get out of the mortgage than she did to get in.
When you write this letter of hardship, you end up really kind of getting into your personal life. But based upon the reality of my situation, I'm completely out of options. Your help and consideration in this matter are very much appreciated.
The letter worked. The lender accepted a short sale for $66,000 less than Melanie paid.
So I paid $325 for it, and the house actually just sold for $259.
And the bank will eat the loss. But they don't always. Some lenders require former owners to repay the difference.
It's a real blow to your self-esteem, and this is the first blip on my credit report. And so it's sort of bittersweet because you see it on the news, so you think, well, at least I'm not alone. But then it doesn't change the fact that you're in this situation. It doesn't change the fact that you had to make this decision and that, your dream of owning this house has now fallen apart.
In 3 more weeks, Melanie and her family join another burgeoning trend.
There's one place with this upgraded kitchen, granite countertops.
They're going back to being renters, but they walk away debt-free. This is Vicki Mabry for Nightline in New York.
Now, thanks to Vicki Mabry, and just to correct something I said earlier, the Dow was actually down 127 points today. And when we come back, the man behind the High School Musical phenomenon.
Bipolar disorder is challenging and can affect your job, family, and friends. For years, I had severe mood swings, racing thoughts, unusually high energy, and was extremely irritable. My doctor and I discussed my options. He prescribed Abilify.
Abilify helps control symptoms of bipolar mania and reduce the risk of manic relapse. Request your free information kit. Call your doctor if you have high fever, stiff muscles, and confusion on Abilify, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, as these could become permanent. If you have diabetes or are at risk for it, your blood sugar should be monitored. High blood sugar has been reported with Abilify and medicines like it. In some cases, extreme high blood sugar can lead to coma or death. Elderly people with dementia taking Abilify have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor if you have unusual or worsening mood changes or thoughts of suicide. Other risks include dizziness upon standing, impaired judgment or motor skills, or trouble swallowing. Hundreds of thousands of patients have been prescribed Abilify. Ask your doctor if Abilify is right for you.
In order for things to work, it doesn't mean it has to have an uncomfortable feeling.
Crest Pro Health kills 99% of germs that can cause gingivitis, plaque, and bad breath without the burn of alcohol.
It really feels like it's working without the burning.
Crest Pro Health Rinse.
The generation that swore it would never get old didn't. Welcome to the summer of life. New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Lets you keep a little gray. Works gradually. Easy.
Never trust anybody over 90.
New Touch of Gray.
Actress Mila Kunis on an all-new Jimmy, coming up on ABC.
M is for Martinsville. Leaving a mark here means muscles, moxie, and maybe a miracle. Jimmy Johnson fights to maintain his lead and hold back a menacing field. The chase continues at Martinsville, Sunday at 1 Eastern on ABC.
Delicious blends of real fruit, a splash of low-fat milk, and naturally uplifting boosts you can feel. Introducing Jamba Smoothies and Juicies, now available at your local grocer. Jamba, live fruitfully.
The commercial success of High School Musical is dizzying in its scale, international in its scope. From the box office and Billboard chart to concert tours and merchandising, fans have propelled this musical into a full-blown sensation. And while its teenage stars are known throughout the world, the secret to its success is a lesser-known choreographer whose own career dates back to the great Gene Kelly, as Chris Connolly now reports.
Here we are. Here we are. How can you tell a movie musical is likely to be a major hit? When a month before it opens, its director is already working on a sing-along version. 16! That's 58-year-old Kenny Ortega, overseeing, and yes, still directing, this rendering of Now or Never. The opening song and dance sequence from High School Musical 3, Senior Year.
What we were looking for was to find a way to merge sport and to merge, choreography in a way that still kept it honest and edgy and made you feel the event, and yet just sort of went to a different place.
A different place is where the latest and climactic installment will be seen, the first of the 3 High School Musical films to be debuting on the big screen.
It's like, sending your kid out there, to go to school for the first time or something. It's having these questions of, is it ready? Is it finished? Is it pretty enough?
No one else seems very concerned, especially the millions of devoted tweens who've been counting down the days till the October 24th debut of High School Musical 3, and who have spent the last 33 months turning a Disney Channel musical romance about a jock and a math whiz
I'll do the Scholastic Decathlon, and you win the championship.
Come on, get my head in the game.
into a wildly profitable, multi-platform franchise for Disney, the parent company of ABC News.
We knew something was happening. Before we walked out of High School Musical 1, we were in the gymnasium in Salt Lake City at East High School. And we had a little circle, and I said, gosh, this is feeling awfully special, folks. I think you better buckle down and get ready. I think we may have something here.
What was it that made you think something unique was happening?
I give so much of that credit to the company, to the cast.
Their dancing, singing, and comedic skills, all honed by Ortega, have made them a who's now of young stardom.
When you talk to Kenny, you feel like you're talking to... It's amazing. I feel like I'm talking to a fellow, 20-year-old when I talk to Kenny.
Who, thinks about putting, a baby pink piano in a pool? Who thinks about that? He does.
He knows this audience very, very well. He knows what works and what doesn't. He knows dancing. He can create a dance for camera, unlike anyone I've ever seen before. And so that's really comforting, just knowing that he has all that under his belt. Can really take care of you.
And so he has. But High School Musical has taken care of Kenny Ortega, too, by completing his nearly 3-decade quest to bring back the old-school Hollywood musical, the genre he grew up loving, only to spend many of his professional years in fear that it might be gone forever.
Did you ever think to yourself, Kenny, I'm a man out of time. I'm a guy who lives for the musical, and I just happen to come of age in the wrong time?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Without this, I would have felt deprived. I would have felt, that I didn't get it all.
What am I?
2 decades ago, the Hollywood musical looked as washed up as Sunset Boulevard's Norma Desmond.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Rendered irrelevant by the jump cuts and outrageous images of music videos.
Sailors old as time.
With only animated films like Beauty and the Beast carrying the musical torch. But in recent years, the musical pendulum has swung back.
We live in cynical times, and we live in difficult times. And I think that sometimes it's good to return to an innocent idea. It's helpful. It reminds us of our fragility and good side and connects us with our heart. But the big thing is being able to surrender your disbelief.
This could be the start of something new.
Being able to accept that somebody's going to break into song and to say, it's okay. It's okay. It's not life, life is out there, and actually life is giving me a headache. And so this is making me feel a little bit better about myself, about the world. So it looks like this.
Choreography for the camera has been at the heart of Kenny Ortega's career.
Right.
All right. A skill he first honed while working with the great Gene Kelly.
You know, it's like my life up until Gene Kelly and then everything after it. We worked together on Xanadu, you know, a failed musical, and yet I walked away with it with more than I'd ever gotten from anything that I'd ever done in my life.
Revered for his work on movies like Singing in the Rain, Kelly offered a young Kenny Ortega a master class in dance and the movie.
And he gave me a stopwatch. And for weeks, we looked at all of his old films, and he would stop and he'd say, now, do you know why I put the camera there? Do you know why I did that? Did
You
see
watched
that
Gene
was
Kelly's
fun?"
old films?
Oh, yeah,
Gene
with
Kelly?
him, yeah. And he'd say, I timed that. You know, there was a reason. There was a design.
Later in the 80s, Ortega would earn his Hollywood stripes by choreographing Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing was all about gaining the trust of all of those individuals and then going on that journey with them. And I don't ask people to give me their trust, you know, but you need it. You require it. And you just one day realize, wow, I'm in a room and I have it. And that better not blow it, because, you know, I might not ever get it back again.
His first shot at directing a movie musical came in 1992 with Newsies.
I'm dying to hear about your night with
More
Sherry.
recently, his career bears witness to the tonal shift in teen culture.
How was your night?
He was directing an episode of the irony-enriched TV series The Gilmore Girls when he got the call to helm High School Musical, where the anything-but-ironic characters find themselves bursting into song.
Coach said to break right and break left.
Why do people sing in musicals?
Why do they sing?
What makes them sing?
I just think it's just you know, it enables you to go to another level. It enables you to go to another level of expression. You can sustain a note. It's hard to sustain a word. You know, you can give greater meaning.
What about us?
Beloved High School Musical characters like Troy and Gabriella will find their senior year rich with meaning and song. But for the actors themselves, Ortega says the final group shots of High School Musical 3 carried their own powerfully emotional kick.
They turned and the High School Musical sign came down, and they turned back again and they looked at each other, and this curtain closed. And when the curtain opened back up, they were just a mess. And they were laughing and crying and reminiscing. I love you, I believe in you, you're going to be great.
How did you feel at that moment?
That I was going to miss them, and that how indebted I was and appreciative I was for all that they gave, because it has enriched my life.
I'm Chris Connolly for Nightline in Los Angeles.
And High School Musical 3 Senior Year opens in theaters next Friday, October the 24th. Our thanks to Chris Connolly. And when we come back, the phone is ringing and someone wants your vote.
The more you travel, the more languages you run across. But there's one that's pretty universal.
1342! 1342! Out, out! Red drop top! Red drop top! Beep, beep! Meatloaf, meatloaf! Hot fudge! Caesar! Dressing on the side, though!
Exclusive video, travel tips, and NFL travel deals. Only at Expedia.com!
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Senator Obama, I am not President Bush.
True, but you did vote with Bush 90% of the time. Tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy, but almost nothing for the middle class. Same as Bush. Keep spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while our own economy struggles. Same as Bush. You may not be George Bush, but
I voted with the president over 90% of the time, higher than a lot of my even Republican colleagues.
Obama, McCain, campaign endgame. You vote in just a couple of weeks.
So, what are their real last-minute strategies? How will the economic meltdown change the equation? Sunday, for answers, turn to George and an all-star powerhouse roundtable on This Week.
Look, I really like you, but you're giving me mixed signals. I saw you on an ad in the paper, and you were one price. You were a totally different price online. And now you're telling me that you could be a whole nother price if I buy you in your store?
Is that going to be a deal breaker?
I have somebody I think you should meet.
Unlike some stores, Circuit City has a one-price promise.
I'm Jennifer.
Which means the low prices you find online are the same prices you find in our stores. Circuit City will hook you up with one low price.
One senator stands at the center of the Senate. One senator reaches out to both parties to find the common ground. With Ted Kennedy on hate crimes, with Barack Obama on renewable energy, and with Ron Wyden every day for Oregon.
It's a question of finding common ground. And Senator Smith, my friend, my partner, always meets me halfway.
I'm Gordon Smith, and I approve this ad.
When you feel good inside, you feel good all over. Yo Plus is yogurt plus. Yo Plus's unique blend of probiotic cultures and fiber help your body regulate digestive health naturally. Compare Yo Plus to Activia. Both have special digestive health cultures, but only Yo Plus has fiber plus vitamin A plus vitamin D. And Yo Plus tastes great. Get more with a Yo Plus coupon at yoplus.com.
The middle class squeeze. Prices rising, taxes rising, wages can't keep up. But Gordon Smith said enough. Just this month, he stopped a massive middle-class tax increase called the AMT. Gordon Smith is helping save Oregon families an average of $2,000 a year. Call Gordon Smith, thank him for cutting taxes, and ask him to keep fighting for middle-class tax relief. Freedom's Watch is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you want to know what Sarah Palin's really like, just ask her family. And Saturday, that's just what Kate Snow's doing. Going to Wasilla, Alaska, talking one-on-one with Sarah Palin's big brother. So what can he tell you that you don't know about his sister? Watch Good Morning America Saturday.
Nightline continues from New York City with Martin Bashir.
There are now just 19 days until the election, and John McCain and Barack Obama are barnstorming key battleground states, stretching every sinew for those coveted swing voters. But they can't be in all places at all times, and so their campaigns are using every tool at their disposal, including your telephone. As David Wright reports for tonight's Trail Mix.
An unwelcome intrusion, usually when you're just sitting down to dinner.
Calling on behalf of John McCain and the RNC.
But in this case, it's not someone saying you're pre-approved for the latest credit card promotion.
Barack Obama and his fellow Democrats aren't who you think they are.
These calls are political attacks paid for by the McCain campaign and dialed from computers like these.
They say they want to keep us safe, but Barack Obama said the threat we face now from terrorism is nowhere near as dire as it was when we ended the Cold War.
One makes it sound like Obama is some sort of mad bomber.
Barack Obama has worked closely with domestic terrorist Bill Ayers, whose organization bombed the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, a judge's home, and killed Americans.
Another accuses him of denying urgent care to helpless babies.
Barack Obama and his Democrat allies in the Illinois Senate opposed the bill requiring doctors to care for babies born alive after surviving attempted abortion.
John McCain's campaign is doing the kinds of things that he complained bitterly about in 2000, but he is down and he only has a few days to go and he only has a few weapons in his arsenal.
In 2000, McCain railed against what he called the vicious phone calls used against him, anonymous calls that included blatant lies.
Sooner or later, people are going to figure out that if all you run is negative attack ads, you don't have much of a vision for the future.
McCain promised never to stoop so low.
Then I promise you, no matter what the consequences are, there will be no negative campaigns on the part of this campaign in this election.
But the fact is, in that election, he lost.
I think John McCain is feeling a certain amount of heat from his own partisans to get tougher and nastier.
And I think that he is showing them that he is doing everything he can to get elected, even things he doesn't like to do.
When you get into the final weeks of any campaign, all this kind of material starts coming out. Robocalls, nasty mailers that show up in your mailbox, because most of this stuff can fly underneath the radar.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Robocalls are cheaper than a TV ad, and they can be targeted to particular communities where they're likely to have an impact. These computers belong to a company called Robot Dials, which is not the firm McCain is using.
If the political organizations are pursuing this method of communication, then it's working.
But many have their doubts.
People are relatively savvy. When they get a slamming robocall, they typically examine the source and consider it, water off a duck's back.
So, between now and Election Day, the next time your phone rings at dinner time, remember, don't believe everything you hear. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Miami.
Some wise counsel. Our thanks to David Wright. And when we come back, it's time for our closing argument.
ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Geico.
Ah, yes, the Geico Gecko in migration, driven by primal instinct to help people save hundreds of dollars on their car insurance.
Hey, do you see that guy over there? He's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Gotta be kidding me.
What a clever creature.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Burning, itching. I should have used Preparation H.
And for extra relief, use Preparation H medicated wipes first. Unlike most ordinary wipes, they relieve while you clean. Then use maximum strength cream. Preparation H, the relief expert.
Your eye cream puts the spotlight on just wrinkles. Olay Definity Eye Illuminator fights the look of wrinkles, discoloration, and under-eye darkness to fight what ages eyes most. Olay Definity Eye Illuminator for luminous, highly defined eyes.
Sunday. Something no one saw coming.
You want blind sex? I think I can arrange that.
I think we're done.
ABC's Desperate Housewives. All new Sunday, 9/8 Central, ABC.
They opened up their home to help other families.
We built this daycare one step at a time.
Now, they are in jeopardy of losing everything.
We need help.
We need to take care of them.
Sunday, 8/7 Central.
If we can help out their family, we can help out this entire community.
One powerful makeover that will leave you with an unforgettable feeling of joy.
We can change the world if we just take care of each other.
ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition, all new Sunday, 8/7 Central, after a new Funniest Videos on ABC.
A few years ago, bad weather wiped out our crops. We nearly lost the family farm.
It was a struggle to pay the bills, but we pulled together as a family and we made it through.
That's why we understand what a lot of Oregon families are going through right now. Rising gas prices, healthcare costs, food prices. They can't wait for solutions anymore.
If you really want someone who understands what Oregon families are going through, send Kurt to Congress.
I'll fight every day to put your families first. I'm Kurt Schrader, and I approve this message.
Delicious blends of real fruit, a splash of low-fat milk, and naturally uplifting boosts you can feel. Introducing Jamba Smoothies and Juicies, now available at your local grocer. Jamba, live fruitfully.
Delicious peas from Smith Frozen Foods. Gordon Smith Frozen Foods. Where newspapers report there's ample evidence to suggest hiring illegal workers is a regular fact of life. Now Gordon Smith claims he wants to crack down on companies that hire illegal immigrants. But that's hard to believe, because if you do that, who will package your peas then, Senator? Gordon Smith. What a hypocrite. The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Look, I really like you, but you're giving me mixed signals. I saw you on an ad in the paper, and you were one price. You were a totally different price online. And now you're telling me that you could be a whole nother price if I buy you in your store?
Is that going to be a deal breaker?
I have somebody I think you should meet.
Unlike some stores, Circuit City has a one-price promise.
I'm Jennifer.
Which means the low prices you find online are the same prices you find in our stores. Circuit City will hook you up with one low price.
Everything you need to start your day.
K2 News this morning.
Just because it's late night doesn't mean you should be in the dark. For a brighter take on the day, Nightline, late night on ABC.
No one can dispute that race is an issue in this presidential election. No one can dispute that race remains a sensitive issue for many Americans. So tonight we ask you, are Americans being honest about the impact that race will have when they close the curtain and cast their ballots? Tell us what you think by going to abcnews.com and clicking on the Nightline page. And you'll see that we've relaunched the page this week with a new design that will allow you easier access to all of our content. And on Monday, my co-anchor Cynthia McFadden will be on the presidential campaign in Orlando as Democratic candidate Barack Obama is joined by his former rival Hillary Clinton. Their appearance together coincides with the first day of early voting in Florida, the largest of the battleground states, with 27 critical electoral votes. But that's our report for tonight. I'm Martin Bashir, for Terry and Cynthia McFadden, and all of us at ABC News. Good night, America.
Oh, hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I'm just putting the finishing touches on tonight's show. What are you doing, Uncle Frank? I was writing the script, and now I lost the whole thing because you turned the power off. My bad, Jim.
Jimmy, don't worry. You can use Carbonite Online Backup. Remember?
Carbonite Online what?
Carbonite Backup. Remember?
Right. Carbonite Online Backup, of course. How could I forget? I've been talking about it all week. You see, Carbonite Online Backup is a secure online backup service that automatically backs up all the files on your computer. It protects you from any disaster, including my Uncle Frank. Yeah. If you have an Uncle Frank, you can't afford not to have Carbonite. I've been using it myself for years. Everyone who's watching should go to Carbonite.com right now and try it for free today. All right, someone take that away from him.
Don't let this happen to you. Survive computer disasters with Carbonite Online Backup. Use special offer code JKL at www.carbonite.com. Try it free today.
Jimmy Kimmel Live back in 2 minutes with music from the Knucks, Mila Kunis, and Ben Stein. Come on back.
If this isn't a recession, it sure feels like one. And if you haven't looked for a lower price on car insurance, you're probably thinking about it. Careful. Allstate agents have seen other companies skimp on coverage to get the price down. Want to save money without cutting corners? Call an Allstate agent first for a free Good Hands coverage checkup. Just because you have insurance doesn't mean you're protected. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Last year, Expedia booked over 25 million trips worldwide. More trips than any other travel site. That gives you the power to get the best price. We guarantee it on each and every trip.
Energy. Now a new proposal would put turbines just offshore at Tillamook.
We have a long ways to go, but we're beginning to build that body of evidence that there are some areas that might work.
But fishermen are certainly not happy about the idea. What they are most concerned about at 6.
Saturday was a big night for Sarah Palin and for Saturday Night Live.
What? The real one? Bye.
Governor Sarah Palin's appearance on Saturday Night Live helped the show earn its best ratings in 14 years. That's the highest mark since assaulted figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was the guest host in 1994. When Palin first came on the stage, about 17 million people were watching. The political races have been good for Saturday Night Live. So far this season, ratings have been up 76% over last year.
Nightly News is straight ahead tonight with a look at where they stand, what each presidential candidate says about Medicare, the government's health plan for the elderly.
Plus, what a 70-year-old can do that many younger people can't, the exercise that's stretching bodies and minds.
That's coming up next on Nightly News, and we're back in 1/2 hour.